All right. Well, good evening. I'm Shauna, Assistant Director of Alumni Relations and Annual Giving at UW-Tacoma. It's my pleasure to welcome you, and I thank you for joining us for our virtual alumni speaker series. We ask that you remain muted during the interview portion of the program, and after the interview, if there's time, we'll go ahead and take questions via the chat, or you can come off of mute. If you experience technical difficulties, please note it in the chat and we will assist you. So I'll now turn this over to our interviewer, Vincent Da, our ASUWT president and student from Healthcare Leadership. Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you. I'm really glad and kind of excited to introduce our wonderful alumni speaker. But before we begin, I want to kind of talk about his bio. So Peterson Chum is a first-generation college graduate. His family were refugees and fled from a genocide in Cambodia, later settling in Seattle. He graduated with a BA in Healthcare Leadership and a minor in Business Administration at UW-Tacoma, which led him to a career in social services. His current role is a social service specialist at the Department of Social Health Services. He has worked as a community organizer, putting on the Cambodian New Year Street Festival and connecting communities to social services, as well as owning his own balloon business, creating balloon arrangements for family and communities. He loves spending time with his family, traveling, and trying new food. So I want to present you all Peterson Chum.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for the introduction. And I want to thank everyone also for being here today. You could have been taking your time, spending your time watching your favorite show, having dinner with your family or friends, or getting happy hour, but you chose today to be here and be present with us. And I hope today, out of this, I give you some inspiration and some motivation to follow your passion and your dreams.
Peter, the first question we have is kind of tell us about your organization or agency that you work for.
So I work for the Department of Social and Health Services. There's about 50 offices spread out across Washington State. And within the department, we focus on helping people apply for food, cash, housing, childcare, and we also help provide behavioral health services, substance abuse treatment, and we help them find a rent assistance. And if people want to look for jobs, we also help people find jobs too. And I love working for DSHS, and UW-Tacoma helped me and prepared me to be in the field that I am today. The staff is so diverse at DSHS. All types of people from different nationalities, different races, different backgrounds, and we all work so well together. And when it comes to handling cases, like we always know how to cater to the client, take care of our clients, and it's so nice that because it's so diverse, we're able to learn from each other and look through the lens through somebody from that has a different perspective. And the location that I work at is in White Center. So in White Center, this is a very rich community, and I believe, according to the City of Seattle survey, I believe there's like over 70 languages spoken in White Center. So I really enjoy working on White Center, and I love seeing people in my community come in and saying hi to me. And DSHS is a great place to work at. If with the healthcare leadership degree program, they definitely were right on about helping people get jobs in the government sector, the nonprofit sector, which those opportunities actually happened to me. So if you ever want to get your foot in the door and work in the government sector, DSHS is a great place to start at.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. I want to kind of go back a little bit. So how did you get your start at the Department of Social Health Services, and how has that experience kind of shaped your life?
Yeah, so before I got my position at DSHS, I was actually working as an in-person assister through Neighbor Care High Point Clinic. And my role in that position was to help people apply for Medicaid, or people call it Obamacare, Medicaid. and Washington Apple Health. So as a floater, I would travel to all the DSHS offices and help people apply for Medicaid, because I think when Obamacare rolled out, it was no longer Medicaid was no longer handled by DSHS. It was handled by other entities and nonprofit clinics. It was more open to other organizations, and I would just network with the supervisors at DSHS, because I really like the people that worked at DSHS. I really like just the culture, the work culture at DSHS. I love how people are so calm and so relaxed. They can be themselves. They can have fun, and at the same time, they really focus on the client. They really want to uplift the client. And one of our missions at DSHS is helping people transform their lives. So I really wanted to be part of the mission and help people transform their lives. And how it kind of helped shape my life is, social services has always been around me. Growing up, my family, they arrived in the U.S. around 1982. They were war survivors, and they were refugees in Thailand. They traveled to the Philippines, and they stayed in the Philippines for like 2 years, and they learned English. And I think the Filipino teachers also kind of prepared them to what to expect when coming to America. And when they arrived to the U.S., there was a lot of social services that helped provide tools and resources to my family. And DSHS was the front line people, where they helped my family apply for food stamps and housing. So I was a child that was born into Section 8 housing, and because of DSHS, they were able to help provide a foundation for my family. And I knew in my heart, when I was a student in the Health Leadership Program, I knew I wanted to continue the work that people started working for DSHS, and I wanted to continue the legacy of helping other people apply for social services, because other people in my community, they really inspired me to work in the social service field, because they really help transform people's lives and help them live a better life. And I also wanted to give back to the community, and I love what I do. I really do. I really enjoy what I do, and it brings me great joy, and I love it. Sometimes I see my grandma and her friends just coming to the office, renewing their food benefits, and I love having conversations with them to see how they're doing, and it's a very community feeling. And like I said, if you are ever interested in working for the state or government section, I'm definitely looking to DSHS, Department of Social Health Services.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. It was great to kind of hear how you got started at your job. But now I want to kind of talk to you. The next question is, when you're choosing your university, when you graduated high school, why did you choose UW-Tacoma?
I chose UW-Tacoma because I applied for UW-Seattle. I didn't get in. Can I be honest? You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I applied for UW-Seattle, UW-Tacoma at the same time. I didn't get to UW-Seattle. I was sad because a lot of my friends got in there, and I knew that UW-Tacoma was an option. There were other options too. UW-Bothell, that's another satellite campus. But I think I want to go to UW-Tacoma because there's a large Cambodian community in Tacoma, and one of my mom's friends, she lives there. So when I went to UW-Tacoma, I was able to live at my friend's place and rented out her room there. And I chose UW-Tacoma because I knew that it was going to be smaller class sizes. Because I know my friends, when they went to UW-Seattle, they were like a lot of was it like the English courses, like intro, like there was like 500 students, and I'm like, what? I'm taking a class with only 20 students, 25 students, and I chose UW-Tacoma because I wanted a better interaction with the teachers, So I heard at UW-Seattle or other big schools, they had to like make appointments with their professors and wait up to 2 weeks just to speak to an advisor, but UW-Tacoma, I just had that easy access to resources and tools. I didn't have to like schedule anything. I could just go to the teacher's office. I can go to the advisor's office anytime. I felt like we had a connection, and I just felt really comfortable. And UW-Tacoma really provided that really safe, warm, friendly environment. And you know, going choosing UW-Tacoma was the best decision I ever made. Mhm.
Yeah, kind of following on that piece of choosing UW-Tacoma, kind of want to talk about how you kind of got into your program. I think you said that you graduated healthcare, but also a minor. So maybe can you talk about how you got into the program, but also why your motivation for also doing the minor? Because that's very interesting.
Yes. So let's take it back. So I was a student at South Seattle Community College for a while. I was also taking care of my grandma too, who was battling cancer. She had lymphoma cancer. She's a cancer survivor. She's a war survivor. She's just such a strong woman. She's gone through so much. And when I was going to when right after high school, you know, she was having a lot of health problems, and I think maybe before I transferred to UW-Tacoma, I didn't know if I was going to transfer to UW-Tacoma because her cancer was really bad, and a lot of people asked me, "So what are you going to do? Are you going to drop out of school? Are you going to just focus on your grandma?" People were just assuming that, you know, I should just quit school and just focus on my grandma, you know, taking care of her full time. But you know, thank God to the support of my family. They were all able to support me. You know, I sat down with my mom and dad, and I said, "Dad, Mom, you know, I want to be the first one in our family to have a college education, and I want to do both. I want to be able to go to college and take care of grandma and take her to her doctor's appointment to downtown Seattle." My parents, they didn't speak good English. They don't speak good English, and they don't know how to navigate through downtown Seattle. I was kind of like the only one who's more familiar with the streets and how to get down to the hospitals. Till this day, I still take care of my grandma. I still take her to her appointments in downtown. And but back to your question, why I chose a business minor. I chose a business minor because I wanted to. I've always had an interest in like owning a business, and I felt like the business minor at UW-Tacoma, it really prepared me to how to be a business owner, because I do have a business, and we could talk more about that. And I hope I answered I hope I answered the question. Was that the question?
Yeah, you did. The other
Okay.
question I kind of following up with this one is question number 3. You talked about a lot about your family and your love for the community. So
Mhm.
can you tell us about your work as a community organizer, putting on the Cambodian New Year Street Festival and connecting
Mhm.
communities to social services?
Yeah. So when I was in college, I was also part of this organization called CCAL. And CCAL is a club, Cambodian Cultural Arts of Alliance of Washington. And they focus on preserving the culture, the music, the history of Cambodia. And my role was to be was the coordinator, vendor coordinator. So with the Cambodian New Year Street Festival, it's been going on for about 18 years now, I believe. The last time I checked, 18, 19 years. And I was involved for 5 years. And my role as the vendor coordinator, my job was to connect with social services in the area. My job was to connect to like Medicaid health insurance plans, invite them to help people apply for Medicaid, help the community apply for health insurance under the Medicaid Washington Apple Health Plan, and invite people from public health, nurses, nutritionists, and nurses who specialize in diabetes, to come and talk about, you know, eating healthy and having a healthy physical, healthy lifestyle. Because White Center, that's where we have our Cambodian New Year Street Festival every year. White Center is a place where a lot of people, there's more of a higher rate of like obesity and diabetes. And we wanted to make sure that we provide a lot of tools and resources to our families that live in White Center. So I really enjoyed being a vendor coordinator and being a member of CCAL. I love working with the community. It just brings me great joy. And I was also involved with the White Center CDA Community Development Association. We also did some bridge work between CCAL, the Cambodian New Year's Eve Festival, and the CDA. It really opened my eyes a lot to how it's important that we as a community, we all have to come together. We want to see change happen in our community. We want to uplift our community. We all have to build that bridge and work together. So I'm taking a break right now from doing community work, but I do plan on reconnecting.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're able to use kind of your role within DSHS, but also maybe some of the leadership skills that you've learned in UW-Tacoma to really help be an advocate for your community. So we want to thank you for that. Going back on your academic career, this is kind of like a reflection question. What was your most significant learning experience you had as a UW-Tacoma student?
Learning experience, man, you know what? Coffee saved me. You know, I had to have my coffee. I like my Vietnamese coffee with my banh mi sandwich or something from McDonald's on the way because I live in Seattle. So I would always drive down to UW-Tacoma. So along the way, I'm going to have to stop by Jack in the Box, get some coffee, get something to eat because, you know, I'm a breakfast man. So I got to have breakfast in my stomach to start the day. So I have energy and fuel to stay focused when I'm in the classroom. But I, the experience that I've gained from the healthcare leadership program is that it really taught me to identify my resources, where my information is coming from. That's what I really remember. Really found fascinating because, you know, I think with the internet, you know, anybody can publish any information, right? Like with Wikipedia, with YouTube videos, with memes. Like people think memes is really information, resourceful information. Like, no, that's just a meme. That's just a joke, you know. But some people can take as information. So with the healthcare leadership program, you know, they really opened my eyes to like, you know, exploring scientific articles. You know, like information, reading articles from like Harvard, from high institutions with statistics and data, and that's something that I always lean to. If somebody is giving me facts and statistics, I'm like, can you back it up? Can you show me how you get that information? Because now it's like I don't like to just accept information so easily. I need to know where they get the information from. So I feel more confident with the whole situation, and because I don't like just to take on information that's from a source that's not reliable. So that's what I picked up.
Yeah, I kind of want to kind of touch point on your first generation experience. So who were the professors, mentors, or people in your life that added and helped you along the way at UW-Tacoma?
You know what? That's a really great question. You know, and the person I think about is my grandmother, because I remember when I was a kid, I was so nervous when I was in grade school. I was so nervous to talk. You know, when you're a kid, you're just so shy. I was one of those shy kids, and one day I asked my grandmother, I was like, Grandma, I'm so quiet. I want to learn how to speak up and talk in front of the class. And she said, you know, raise your hand and ask a question. And she taught me how to build confidence. She taught me how to bring attention to others, you know, and she taught me so much about life. And she said that if she always gave me great advice, like if you don't know the answer, ask the question. And that really stuck with me in my life. So even if I don't know an answer to something, I remember my grandma in the back of my head saying, you know, you got to ask the questions. You got to ask the right questions to get to the answer. So that stuck with me. And that's like a quote that I always kept within myself. And my grandmother, you know, she's a cancer survivor. She's a war survivor. She took care of 12 grandchildren. And she's like the backbone of her family. She's the leader in the family. And when I was working on my major, my minor. I was also working on getting my medical assistant certificate at Highline Community College. So I was working on 3 different programs at once. And the medical assisting program, it was all paid for because of my grandmother, because I took care of her. So I was able to receive financial aid actually through her. Um, and I also want to highlight my neighbor too, who is like my sister, and she's also Cambodian American too, and she came to America in the early '80s, and she came in at the age of 3, so she kind of understood the role as being first generation and being Asian American in the United States, how there was a language barrier between um, us and our parents, and a big culture shock. And she was always able to counsel me, and that really opened my eyes to really identify with who I am as an Asian American. And when I was really young, I was always upset at my family for not understanding what I was going through, because they didn't understand what it was like as a first generation college student to go to school and work and come back home and study, and they really rely on me, depend on me to do things for them, signing checks, paying bills, and taking them grocery shopping. So, yeah. So I understand the question is, who's your mentor? And I told you my grandma and my neighbor, but I feel like I also had to be my own hero. I also had to speak up for myself. I also had to be my own hero in my own story, and I had to really push the boundaries and take risks. I was, like I said, when I was a little boy, I was always shy and nervous, but then I had to eventually fight and conquer my own fears and be the hero in my own story.
Yeah. I mean, your grandma's very inspirational. I want to give a shout out in the comments. Leslie said, asking the right question is a key to success. Peterson, your grandma is a wise woman. So we want to thank your grandma for her very inspiration. Now we've got you thinking kind of about your past and your time at UW. If you could go back in time and do it all over, what would you do differently? Would you take a different class? Would you wish you would have engaged more in student activities?
No, I wouldn't do anything differently. I really enjoyed the curriculum, the classes they offered. I love how they offered like the diversity class taught by Dr. Robin, and because that really opened my eyes to like the medical field, how it's not good to be biased, not to have like a prejudiced view, or like assuming like a prejudiced view, or some type of view towards a group of people just because they're poor, low income. And I also learned from an Excel class. We also took like a office administration class, and that really taught me how to like create a spreadsheet in Excel and PowerPoint slides, and it really helped me prepare how to do presentations. So I really like the curriculum that the health leadership program offered. And if I was to go back, would I want to change something if I went back? No, I think it was a struggle. I was juggling being a caregiver for my grandmother. I was struggling as a student, balancing everything with family, being a caregiver, being a student. But it made me who I am today. I'm not a perfect person. I didn't have the perfect grades, but because of the support of the staffs, the teachers, like Dr. Stevens, and she was so supportive and caring. And it's just that the program really supported me throughout everything I went through, and I had a really great class, and I made really great friends, and we're going to be reconnecting this Sunday. The other healthcare leadership alumni, we're going to be connecting on Sunday, and I really had a great experience being a student at UWT and being part of the healthcare leadership program. And it's always good memories.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad you enjoyed your experience. That's what UW-Tacoma strives to do. Kind of going to the next question, kind of career advice. What would you say to students who are nervous about not working specifically in their field of study?
Oh my God, don't be nervous. I would say You know, if you're not working in that field of study, it takes time. It really takes time, and you'll eventually get there. You know, you have to network. You have to build a good reputation and connect with the people that you're working with. I know with my experience, um, I was working at Dairy Queen first as a teenager, and I knew I wanted to be in healthcare. And I remember just volunteering. I was volunteering with CCAL and connecting with other local healthcare workers. And I just say, don't give up. Just if you're not working in the field of your study, don't give up. You just started. If you're just starting, you can work your way up. I know at DSHS, at the Department of Social and Health Services, you can definitely work your way up.
Yeah. Thank you for that advice, Peter. The other question is kind of talking about your business. So we kind of want to talk about your business, about your balloon. Tell us about owning your own business and why you decided to start that business.
I am the first one in my family to start this business, and I really wanted to push myself and push my boundaries. And you know, I think when you work in an office, like I think people try to put you in boxes, like they try to label you and put you in a category. And I didn't like that. I think I didn't want to, uh, be fit in a box or category. And I knew it had a lot of potential. And I wanted to use the skills that were offered by UW-Tacoma and put it to good use. I took the minor in business. So I was like, you know what? I spent all this money on a minor in business. I'm going to put it to good use. So the minor in business, the business program, they taught me how to do marketing and sales and accounting and presentations. So I put that all to use. And with this business of mine, it's called Happy Balloon Decorations, and we do balloon garlands and balloon bouquets. It's all customized work, and another reason why I want to start this business is because I want to inspire my younger cousins that they can also go to finish high school, go to college, have a degree, have a career, and also own their own business and have some type of financial freedom and financial knowledge. I want to teach my younger cousins. I'm the oldest one out of 13, and I want to educate them and give them knowledge that there's other ways to make money. You don't need to get a 9-to-5 job. And I also wanted to break the cycle of my family of the idea of a 9-to-5 job, and I just really wanted to push myself. I feel like I have a lot of energy and potential. I feel like I have my own gifts. I love working with people. I feel like that's my gift. I love connecting with people. That's why I'm in the social service field. So I really wanted to make people happy with balloons. When you think about balloons, it's those are special important moments. Like birthdays and retirement parties, sweet 16s, and really. And when you see balloons, it's always happy times, happy moments. So, and I'm a happy person, and and that's what I want to do with my life is to be able to serve. Working in social service field, serving people, helping people, and also with my business, bringing joy and happiness to people.
Yeah, I'm glad that you can help bring happiness during this difficult times. I'm glad that you kind of utilize your skills that you learned with your minor in business administration. So kind of reflecting back on the lessons you learned, what would be a piece of advice you would give to a graduating student that would one day want to start their own business?
Yeah, find what you like first. There's all types of businesses out there, but make sure you find something that makes you happy, that makes you feel wholehearted, that makes you full. Find a business that really wakes you up in the morning, that you don't get tired of. And find a type of business that will challenge you and push you to do new things, and that will push you to take risks. And you know, with me, I'll be honest with you, a lot of other balloon artists, they learn from YouTube. So do your research. So when I say YouTube, what I'm trying to say is do your research. Go on YouTube, watch videos, and you know, and buy some books. Read a lot of books about, you know, owning a business. And my other advice is to follow your heart and work hard and to always be consistent and be committed to your goals and to your dreams, you know, and you are the one in control, you know, and and also I would say right after college, you know, it's important that you still remain focused on your dreams and your goals, and make sure to cut off people. I have a pair of scissors right here. Cut off people who are not doing anything to serve you. You know, cut off all the negative people. Cut off all the people who trying to, you know, enable you to do things like partying and drinking. You know, you wanna surround yourself with people who are gonna uplift and push you and support you with your dreams and your goals. And also, I want to say that it's important to also take time for self care, self love. Take time to do things that make you happy. Because I know when you're a student and you have a lot of responsibility, a lot of plates you're juggling. You know, you have to make sure you take time to love yourself, take care of yourself, whether it's going out to eat, spending time with your friends, doing your hair, doing your nails, watching a good movie. Make sure to take care of yourself too. That's very important.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. For those watching this recording later, hopefully you guys write down those wonderful tips. So thank you for that. The other question is kind of touching base again with your first generation kind of story. So how has it impacted your family to see you achieve your degree?
Oh wow, you know, I know my parents are proud of me. I know they are. You know what? They helped me so much. My parents, maybe, you know, maybe it's an Asian culture thing. Like they don't really express it. They don't say "I love you," but but they show love through actions. You know, they helped me purchase a car when I was a senior because my dad, my mom, they were so wise. Even, you know, they never got a high school degree. They never went to college. They didn't have a like full-time career, but you know, they were just so smart. They knew how to survive because you know they were refugees and they came here as you know as immigrants. So that's all they knew, how to survive, how to be 20 steps ahead. So they would always take care of me and getting me a car and help take care of me, providing food and clothing for me and giving me words of wisdom and to prepare me for life. And oh wait, I hope I answered your question, but yes, my family has been very supportive of me, and and I thank them for always being there for me, even till this day. They still there, you know, they still there for me, and I know they're proud of me. I know they are very proud of me, because it's the level of trust and respect that we have for each other. It's like, you know, you have my back, I have your back, and I'm Asian American. I'm also LGBTQ. I'm gay too. And when I came out to my dad that I was gay, he cried. We cried. And what stuck with me was that he said that I am his son and that he will love me forever and that he will never throw me away. That I am his son. I'm his flesh. I'm in his blood, and that he will always take care of me. And from that moment, I knew that I will always take care of my mom and dad. You know, I will always take care of my mom and dad. You know, till the last day when they're here on earth. So I know they're proud of me, and I'm proud of them too. And we take care of each other. That's what we do. You know, as a family. And that's what they taught me. When you go into the community, when you're working in social services, you have to have an open heart, open mind to work with the community, so you can make good changes in the world and in the community.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you for sharing your wonderful story. I know your parents will be proud of you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Question 12 kind of talks about what you mentioned a little bit earlier about self-care. So What are you doing and what do you do to protect your mental health during COVID-19?
Oh my God. You know what? I'll be honest with you. So with this whole COVID-19 thing, like I started praying. I started meditating, you know. I think that really helped me, you know. I've been meditating and praying a lot, you know, before I go to sleep, when I wake up. And when I think about why I pray, why I meditate, I look at my grandmother, and I remember she shared me stories, you know, after she escaped the genocide. She was a refugee in Thailand, and she told me she would always go to the temple to pray, to meditate, to pray for safety for her family, to pray that her family and her kids will have a better life, will arrive to America and have a good job. And I think seeing my grandmother pray for her kids, for her grandkids, and seeing how we ended up so well, that I'm taking that as a lesson from her, that you know, in order to combat, you know, mental illness or anxiety or stress, I feel like for me, meditation and prayer has really helped just just keep me in balance with the physical being, and it has really also helped me connect to a spiritual level, and it helped me connect to the universe, and it just keeps me grounded. So meditation, prayer, and Taco Tuesdays. How about that? I love my Taco Tuesdays too.
Yeah.
Yes, eating. Make sure you eat eat what you like, so it can, you know, keep you fuel and awake and refreshed and alert for the day.
Yeah. She that eat, pray, love, and that's a really good hook. Kind of saving more time because we know we only have 11 minutes. So this is the last question, and then we'll leave it for the Q&A. What is one piece of advice that you would give to current students now?
You know what? I would say stay focused, be aware. You know, I know as a student, you know, you have all these thoughts in your head. You know, when you're in the classroom, you know, I had difficulties focusing, you know, maybe because I have so many thoughts running through my head, thinking about family, thinking about relationships, thinking about friends, and thinking about what's going to happen, you know, after college, or what's my goals the next 5 years. My advice for the students, I'm looking at you guys, to stay focused, be aware, and be in the present. Be in the present. So whatever you're doing, listen to the teacher, soak in that moment, soak in that time that you have with your teachers, with your staffs, with your friends, even family. Just be in the present moment, and soak it all in. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for sharing your story,
Yeah.
your family, your history. Your story is very inspirational. So I hope that people who are watching this recording later can get some tips from you. Now we'll open up to Q&A. So feel free to use the chat to also type in your questions if you don't feel comfortable. If not, you can also kind of open up your mics and your video to ask Peter a great question of yours.
Questions? Come on, y'all. Any questions? Come on.
I'll ask.
Questions.
I think
Hi,
Jay,
Peter. Oh, was there another hand?
Or you can go first.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you. I came in a bit late, and I apologize if I wasn't should not be turning on camera early. But thank you for sharing. What you said is very loving and encouraging.
Thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much.
yeah, see, you gained a fan. Jada, we have Jada next. Jada?
Peter, so I had a quick question. For working at for working at DSHs, what is your favorite memory from like your line of work?
Oh, you know, my favorite memory is being able to sit face to face with the client and really getting to know them, and listening to their story, where they come from, and their struggles and their pain and their trauma, and and helping them get connected to the resources, and it really pushed me and challenged me to be a deep listener, and not to judge and not to assume. And I learned so much. I learned so much from my clients, because they've shown me that life, it can be you can go through ups and downs in life, and they really made me feel like not to take stuff for granted. So I just really enjoy building relationships with my clients at DSHS, with my caseload. I don't like to look at my clients as a number. I like to look at them as people, and I really enjoy connecting with them, talking to them, building relationships with them, and helping them get back on their feet.
Yeah, great question, Jada. I think we have one more last question in the chat by Leslie, and it says, Peter, what are your short-term and long-term aspirations?
Yeah, before, when I think about my short-term goals, right, it was like to finish high school, go to college, get a degree. Those are my short-term goals, and have get a job, get a career, and I did all of that. So if you ask me, right now, what are my short-term goals? What are my long-term goals now in life? I think my short-term goal is just to work on my business and make it. Hopefully, it'll expand. And I'm with my balloon business. I have my younger cousins who are also students at University of Washington Tacoma. Hey, yeah! Shout out to Kara Sabrina. And one of them is majoring. The older sister, the sisters. The older one is majoring in IT. The other one is majoring into like some type of science degree. And my long-term goal is like just to educate my girls how to be independent, self-sufficient. They're like my sisters, so I really wanted to give them knowledge. So I hope that with my long-term goal, I hope that we can have a family business down the road and work together and take over the world.
Thank you, Peter, for sharing your story, and you're a very funny person, so I think we all had a good time. I'm going to turn it over to Shauna for last announcements, and we want to thank our guests here today for really coming and engaging with us. And then for those watching, hopefully you get great tips from this. Peter has been a wonderful guest, so thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks for everybody that's here joining us. I just have some announcements. If you haven't gotten on Tacoma Husky Landing, you should do that. That's our alumni networking and student networking platform. Faculty and staff are on there as well, so it's a good way to connect. And then there are some businesses and friends of the university there as well. There's a lot of resources in there. So you'll want to do that. Also, the grad experience is coming up for the graduating class of 2021. We have some dates. I'm just going to throw some dates out there. May 27th, June 3rd, and June 12th. So right after the commencement, we'll have the grad celebration and new alumni happy hour. You'll have to look at that commencement website and then go to the grad experience website, and you'll be able to see what's coming. Also, I just want to shout out Vinny. We call him Vinny here at UW-Tacoma, Vincent, who has been interviewing. He is our student body president, and he organized for the class of 2021 to vote to see what senior class gift they wanted to leave the university or they wanted to do. And they chose the Rosa Franklin Endowed Fund for Nursing Students because they want to help students become nurses. You can find out more information. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat if you want to visit that. But we're very proud of the class of 2021, especially going through this pandemic and deciding on what they were going to do. So thank you for that. I don't have any other announcements that I can think of right now, but just be on the lookout. This is our last alumni speaker series for this season, but we'll be back in the fall, so be on the lookout for that. And once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming.